Hi everyone. Thank you for attending the presentation. So I'm going to speak in English because unfortunately I don't speak Spanish. So as Anna was saying, I work at Langports, which is an English language school based in Australia. We have 3 different campuses in Brisbane, on the Gold Coast, and in Sydney, as you can see on the map. So Gold Coast and Brisbane are based in Queensland, which we call the Sunshine State, and Sydney in New South Wales. We have 3 campuses, and whichever campus you choose, you will have the same services, same courses, and same student service system to supervise. So you get the same experience, but it's just a question of location. It's possible to travel between the different campuses as well if you wish to do that, to experience 2 or 3 different. Just a bit about Brisbane. It's actually a big city. I know that not that many people know Brisbane, but there's 2.2 million people living there. It's a tropical city. The only thing is that we don't have the beach. Brisbane has lots of company based there. It's like the financial centre of Queensland. Has a really nice tropical climate. I think our winter is your spring really. And it's very, very easygoing and really nice to live there. So in south of Brisbane, you can find the Gold Coast. On the Gold Coast, we're located in Southwest Paradise. I think it speaks for itself. Lots of surfing going on there. It's a bit smaller in terms of population, but the Gold Coast is really long. So it's about 70 kilometres with lots of different suburbs and lots of things to experience. If you like, obviously, outdoors activities, it's one of the best spots you can go to. And then in New South Wales, Sydney, obviously the biggest city in Australia, not the capital, but the economic centre of Australia and cultural centre as well. 4.6 million people live there, and I know lots of students choose to go there as well because it's the biggest city, and obviously there's lots of job opportunities as well. More competition, but more opportunities as well. Lots of things to do, not far from the beach, famous Bondi Beach, lots of national parks to experience as well. I think the most important thing that I'm going to talk about today is the courses, because you're going to find lots of different English schools in Australia, and I know it's quite hard to make a decision. So I'm just going to explain how we work at Langports, but we like to do things very differently from other schools. And we have a program of English called the Langports Academic Way that includes lots of different programs. Okay, so the main program that students usually start with is General English, which we call UFO English at Langports, which I'm going to explain later on. And we also have closed courses that you can see in the different colours, and those courses are exam preparation courses. Our goal obviously is for students to improve as quickly as possible and to have interactive classes and to participate as much as they can. So you're not going to go to classes where we're going to open a book and do page 1, exercise 1, because you can't do that at home. Okay? So the goal is really to mingle with lots of people, participate as much as you can, and have interactive classes. Our teachers are trained for that. Every week they go to training session for that to make sure that the classes are challenging and that students can learn in a different way. Okay? So I was talking about UFO English. The meaning is use, focus, and options, and that's the 3 classes you're going to go to every day if you study our General English program. How it works is that when you arrive on the first day, we ask you to complete an English test. And while most of the schools will give you 1 General English level, they will tell you your level 4 or your level 5, at Langports we give you 5 different English levels, and that's where we do things differently. The reason being that we could all arrive on the same day, maybe we're all intermediate level, but some of us are better at writing, some of us are better at speaking, some of us are better at reading. We all have different strengths and weaknesses, okay? So we really want to organize a personalized timetables for each student so that you can go to classes where everybody has the same level for each of your skills. I'll show you an example of a timetable. So the first class you go to in the morning, as I said, is called Use of English, and that's where you go to your general level class. So let's say in the morning we all go together in the same class. We have about 12 students per class on average, and we review all the skills for every level. We do some pronunciation, some vocabulary, some grammar, we review all the tenses. Okay, and then the second part of the day is called focus, and here you have one skill class every day. So every Tuesday you go to a writing class, Wednesday you go to reading, Thursday is listening, and Friday is speaking. And here we split. So some of us might go to writing level 4, some of us might go to writing level 5, I will go to level 2, and maybe we meet again in reading if we have the same level, split again for listening, split again for speaking. This has 3 goals. The first one is that for each class you are with people who have exactly the same level as you do, and it really boosts your confidence usually. We all know that in speaking class, if someone's better, usually they speak, and everybody else is. So here, everybody has the same level, and it's like students tend to participate much more. So that's the first goal. The second goal is that we want you to meet as many people as possible, because the goal of going to study in Australia is also to build a network of friends from all over the world. So in each class you would meet 10 or 11 other people. By the end of the week you've met about 70 students in the class and in the school, and it really, really contributes to this family atmosphere we want to give to the school. The third goal of this program is also that for each class you have a different teacher with a different accents. They're all native speakers, but you might have people coming from England, you might have people coming from Australia, from New Zealand with different accents, so that you can get used to that as well in different ways of teaching. Monday is a bit different. Monday is what we call the weekly review. So it's a face-to-face meeting that you have with your teacher, where you can give us your feedback, where we talk about what you improved the last week, what you need to work on if you want to be able to go to the next level, and we do some counseling. And then in the afternoon, you have an options class, and that's where we focus on why did you come to study English with us. So we have 11 options that you can choose from, obviously depending on your goal and also depending on your level. Altogether, it's 25 hours face-to-face of English every week. So it's quite intensive, but it's also the best way to improve. Okay. The timetable is the same for everybody. So you start at 9 and you finish at 3:30 from Monday to Thursday, and on Friday at 12:45. So that gives you enough time to have a part-time job as well, if you wish to have one. Okay, that's for you for English, and that's the 7 levels that you can see here in green. So level 1 is complete beginner until level 7, which is post advanced. When you start reaching level 4, level 5, so intermediate or para-intermediate, and a good level, we will always advise you to go to what we call closed classes or exam preparation classes. That would be a bit more challenging for you as well, and it's always nice to come home with a certificate if you can. Okay, those classes are a bit different in the sense that they have specific starting dates, an exam at the end, and they have a specific length. So we have like Cambridge courses, for instance, for 3 months, IELTS preparations for 5 weeks. So they're all a bit different, but you would study with the same group of people for that time. A really popular course that we have is Cambridge. Cambridge has 3 different levels, first certificate, advanced certificate, and proficiency. We have lots of students here studying Cambridge from lots of different nationalities. Last year we had 54 different nationalities at the school over the year. But at one point at school, you would have between 19 and 25 nationalities. I know Cambridge is famous all over those nationalities because, yeah, it's valid for your whole life, and it's really valuable to have that on your resume as well. So for those, we have different intakes, different length, and at the end you have the exam. We are exam center for Cambridge, so you can take that at school as well. Another exam that we offer is IELTS. IELTS is very good if your goal is to study in English at some point at university or to stay in Australia at some point. IELTS tests for your 4 skills, so speaking, reading, writing, and listening. But we spend a lot of time on writing simply because you need that skill for all the 3 others. So obviously we train you for the 4 macro skills, but the goal is to train you as well for all the little skills you need to make those perfect. So for instance, in writing we spend a lot of time on vocabulary, on how to structure an essay, on how to spell, and all those little skills that you need to make your English perfect. It's a 5-week preparation, and you can do it twice if you need, depending on the score you want to reach. And yeah, I think that's it about IELTS. Even if you study an exam preparation course at Langports, we also make sure that we keep training you for general English as well. So we're not going to do mock tests for 5 weeks, because as well you can do that at home, but we're going to train you for the exam, to master the exam, and to also be able to use your English in lots of different situations. That's for the IELTS. The next course that I'm going to talk about is EAP, English for Academic Purposes. So that's a really specific course for people who wish to study later in Australia, master's degree, bachelor degree, or something like that. It combines an IELTS preparation, but also prepares you for assignments that you're going to have to do at university. So like writing an essay, doing some presentations, and all that type of things that you're going to be asked to do. So that was for academic English. We also have courses for business English, TOEIC Plus and Business Plus. If your goal is one day to work in English, TOEIC Plus is a really good course. It's a 5-week course where we train you mostly on writing and reading, and how to write reports after a meeting, how to write emails, formal, informal. So that's all for the English classes. So there's lots of different options. If you have a specific objective, it's always good to let us know, because then we can ask you to do English pre-test at home that you do here in Spain. Then you send it to us. Our Director of Studies will mark it and will tell you how many weeks you need to study to reach your goal. If you're not sure, you can also just, enroll for like general English for a certain amount of time, and then when you're at school, we will also help you to, we will guide you to choose the best course. So that was for the courses. About our schools, so on the left you can see our school in Brisbane that we opened 11 years ago. In the middle is our school in the Gold Coast that we opened 7 years ago, and on the right is Sydney that we opened last year. It's the brand new campus. We celebrated the first anniversary 2 weeks ago. All the classrooms are round, and then in the middle we have break areas like lounges, ping pong tables, and all of that, so that during the break you can also meet other people and once again speak English with people from lots of different culture. That's just photos of the campuses. I'm just going to go quickly. Nationalities, which I was talking about before. So that's just to give you an overview. That's a mix of nationalities we had over our campuses. That was in 2014. We can also organize accommodation for you if you wish. So we offer student houses for people 18 years old and older, and we can also organize homestay, but that we can talk about as well more on the case-to-case scenario. And we have a full-time activities officer, because it's nice to study, but it's also nice to see what's around, especially if it's your first time in Australia. So during the day after school, we organize activities, sports or dinners all together, or like lots of different things. And then on the weekends, we organize day trips or weekend trips a bit further away, so that you can see what's around Brisbane, what's around the Gold Coast, go to different islands, go surfing, all that type of things. I know some of you were talking about jobs. As part of the activities, every 2 weeks we run a job help seminar. So you're more than welcome to attend. We help you write your resume in English, write your cover letter. We give you all the tips and tools you need to find a job in Australia. We can't find a job for you, unfortunately, but we can give you a toolbox and explain to you how it works, because it's quite different from looking for a job in another country. So we explain to you how to introduce yourself, where you can look for jobs, what type of jobs you should be looking for, etc. And we also have programs about English plus work experience. So once again, if someone's interested, please let me know and we can talk a bit more face-to-face. But we have 2 programs for work experience. The first one is that we can organize internships for you to help you get your first experience in Australia, working in an English-speaking environment in an Australian business. That usually helps a lot if you want to find a job back in your country or even in Australia, that you have this experience in English. It's quite an advantage to have on your resume. We can find placements in lots of different areas. And the second work experience that we can organise for you is demi-pair placements. That means that you study during the day and then you work as an au pair in a family in the afternoons. In exchange for that, you get your accommodation and your meals. And you live in an Australian family, so once again, there's no better way to improve your English, especially when you're around kids, and there's no other way to communicate with them. With both those programs, I mean, the goal is obviously to improve your English, but you can also get from that a nice reference letter. It's also a good advantage to have when you look for another job, and you get, an experience in Australia. I was just going to say, because we have videos, so we have a YouTube channel, so if you Google on YouTube Langports Australia, we publish on a regular basis student testimonials. Lots of them are in English, but we also have some in Spanish if you want to have a look at it. Or if you want to look at previous testimonials as well, we're also on a website called Education Stars, where students can leave their feedback about the school, services, courses, their general experience in Australia. It's organised per campuses, so you're more than welcome to have a look at that as well. Because I can talk about my school for like hours, but I think the best thing that you can do is read what previous students had to say, and then, it may help you make a decision.